I'll give you the opening section of a completely original long-form script for how to stop being lazy and pathetic in the motivational style you're looking for. If someone followed you around for the next 30 days and copied every habit, every excuse, every decision, every action, would they become successful or would they become stuck? Be honest, not the answer that sounds good, the truth. Because the truth is that most people already know what's wrong with their lives. They know exactly why they're not where they want to be. They know why they're unhappy. They know why they're broke. They know why they're insecure. They know why they're falling behind. The problem isn't a lack of information. The problem is a lack of action. You don't need another excuse. You need a wake-up call because every day you tell yourself the same story. I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it when I feel motivated. I'll do it when I have more time. I'll do it when life gets easier. And then tomorrow comes and nothing changes. The next week comes, nothing changes. The next month comes, nothing changes. Then one day you wake up and realize years have passed. Years. And you're still standing in the same place, still making the same excuses, still dreaming about a different life while repeating the same habits. That's painful, not because you're incapable, because deep down you know you're capable of more. The worst feeling in life is not failure. The worst feeling is knowing you could have done more, knowing you had potential that you never used, knowing you kept making promises to yourself and breaking them, knowing you settle when you were meant to grow. Let's talk about laziness, because most people misunderstand it. Most people think they're lazy, but often they're not lazy. They're addicted to comfort. There's a difference. A lazy person doesn't want anything. You want things. You want success. You want confidence. You want money. You want freedom. You want respect. You want a better life. The problem is that you also want comfort, and every day you're choosing comfort over your future. That's the real battle. Not you versus the world. You versus comfort. Because comfort whispers. Comfort tells you to sleep a little longer. Comfort tells you to skip the workout. Comfort tells you to start tomorrow. Comfort tells you to scroll for another hour. Comfort tells you that one more day won't matter. But one more day becomes one more week. One more week becomes one more month. One more month becomes one more year. And eventually comfort becomes regret. The life you want is on the other side of discomfort. Every single time. Confidence is on the other side of discomfort. Discipline is on the other side of discomfort. Success is on the other side of discomfort. Growth is on the other side of discomfort. Everything you've ever wanted requires you to become comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's where most people quit. They want results without sacrifice. They want confidence without challenges. They want success without discipline. They want change without effort. But life doesn't work that way. The version of you that has everything you want is not built through convenience. That version is built through consistency. Every time you do something difficult, you become stronger. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you become stronger. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you become stronger. And strength compounds, just like weakness compounds. Every excuse makes the next excuse easier. Every procrastinated task makes the next task harder. Every broken promise weakens your trust in yourself. That's why your confidence is low. Not because you're incapable, because you've stopped trusting yourself. Think about it. How many promises have you made to yourself? How many times have you said, "This is the day I change"? How many times have you promised to wake up early, exercise, study, work on your goals, improve your life? And how many times did you quit after a few days? Eventually, your mind starts believing your words mean nothing. That's what destroys self-respect, not failure, broken promises. Confidence is not built by positive thinking. Confidence is built by positive evidence. Evidence that you can rely on yourself, evidence that you can do hard things, evidence that you can finish what you start. That's why discipline is the highest form of self-respect. Every disciplined action sends yourself a message. The message says, I matter. The message says, my future matters. The message says, I can trust myself. And the more you trust yourself, the more powerful you become. Because confidence is not believing you're perfect. Confidence is knowing you'll show up anyway, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Let's be honest about something else. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to knock on your door and hand you your dream life. Nobody is coming to build your confidence. Nobody is coming to build your body. Nobody is coming to create your future. You have to do it. You. And that's not bad news. That's the most empowering truth you'll ever hear. Because if nobody is coming to save you, it means your future is still in your hands. It means your story isn't over. It means you still have power. The moment you stop waiting for motivation and start relying on discipline, your life changes. The moment you stop blaming circumstances and start taking responsibility, your life changes. The moment you stop negotiating with your goals and start committing to them, your life changes. Not overnight, but permanently. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 week and underestimate what they can do in 1 year. 1 year of discipline can transform your body. 1 year of discipline can transform your finances. 1 year of discipline can transform your confidence. 1 year of discipline can transform your entire identity. But first, you must stop identifying with the version of yourself that keeps quitting. You are not your excuses. You are not your procrastination. You are not your past. You are not your failures. Those are behaviors, not identities. And behaviors can change. The question is simple. How much longer are you willing to tolerate a life that doesn't reflect your potential? How much longer are you willing to watch your dreams stay dreams? How much longer will you choose temporary comfort over permanent growth? Because every day you delay, your future is waiting. Every day you hesitate, your future is waiting. Every day you procrastinate, your future is waiting. The person you want to become is waiting for you to act, not think, not wish, not hope. Act right now, not tomorrow, not Monday, not next month. Today, because your future is built by what you do today. And if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you'll spend your entire life waiting. The perfect moment is a myth. The perfect moment is now. The strongest version of you is not created when motivation is high. The strongest version of you is created when motivation disappears and you continue anyway. That is where transformation begins. That is where self-respect is built. That is where confidence is earned. That is where your new life starts. And the decision is yours. Stay comfortable and stay the same. Or become uncomfortable and become everything you're capable of being. Now let me tell you something that might make you uncomfortable. The life you're living right now is a reflection of your standards, not your dreams, not your intentions, not your potential, your standards. Everyone has goals, everyone has dreams, everyone has plans, but very few people have standards. A goal is something you want. A standard is something you refuse to go below. That's the difference. You say you want confidence, but do you have the standards that create confidence? You say you want success, but do you have the standards that create success? You say you want a better life, but do your daily habits match that desire? Because life doesn't respond to what you wish for. Life responds to what you repeatedly do. That's why your habits matter more than your motivation. Motivation is temporary. Standards are permanent. And if you want to stop feeling weak, stop lowering your standards every time things become difficult. Most people are addicted to negotiation. They negotiate with their goals. They negotiate with discipline. They negotiate with growth. The alarm rings. They negotiate. The workout gets hard. They negotiate. The work becomes boring. They negotiate. The challenge becomes uncomfortable. They negotiate. And every time they negotiate, they lose. Not because they failed, because they trained themselves to quit. Your mind is always watching. Every decision teaches it something. When you quit, your mind learns quitting. When you persist, your mind learns strength. When you make excuses, your mind learns excuses. When you take responsibility, your mind learns responsibility. You are training yourself every day. The question is, what are you training? Because whether you realize it or not, you're becoming something. You're becoming more disciplined or less disciplined, more confident or less confident, more focused or more distracted. Growth is happening. The only question is in which direction. And here's what many people don't understand. Your future self is watching. Not literally, but the person you'll become 1 year from now is being built by the choices you're making today. Imagine meeting that future version of yourself, the version that finally got disciplined, the version that stopped procrastinating, the version that stopped making excuses, the version that built confidence, the version that created success. What would that person tell you? Would they thank you for quitting? Would they thank you for wasting time? Would they thank you for choosing comfort every day? No, they would beg you to start. They would beg you to stop waiting. They would beg you to realize how powerful you really are, because the future version of you knows something the current version keeps forgetting. Small actions change everything. One workout doesn't change your body, but hundreds do. One productive day doesn't change your life, but hundreds do. One disciplined decision doesn't change your future, but thousands do. Success is not one giant moment. Success is a collection of small victories, repeated again and again. That's why consistency beats intensity every single time. You don't need to become a completely different person overnight. You need to become slightly better every day. 1% better. That's it. One better decision, one better habit, one better action, then repeat. People fail because they try to transform their entire life in a single day. They become overwhelmed. They become exhausted. Then they quit. Instead, focus on becoming the person who shows up, because showing up changes everything. Show up when you're tired. Show up when you're uninspired. Show up when progress feels slow. Show up when nobody notices. Show up when nobody applauds, because those are the moments that define you. Anyone can work hard when they feel motivated. Champions work hard when they don't. That's the difference. And let's talk about excuses, because excuses are expensive. Every excuse costs you something. An excuse costs confidence. An excuse costs progress. An excuse costs opportunities. An excuse costs growth. The problem is that excuses feel free in the moment, but eventually the bill arrives. And the bill is called regret. Regret for the opportunities you didn't take. Regret for the goals you abandoned. Regret for the life you could have created. And regret is far more painful than discipline. Discipline hurts for a moment. Regret hurts for years. Remember that. Discipline hurts for a moment. Regret hurts for years. Every successful person eventually learns this lesson. They learn that pain is unavoidable. The question is which pain you choose. The pain of growth, or the pain of staying the same. The pain of discipline, or the pain of regret. The pain of effort, or the pain of disappointment. Either way, there will be pain. Choose wisely, because the version of you that you admire is not built through comfort. That version is built through sacrifice, built through commitment, built through consistency, built through responsibility, built through thousands of moments where quitting seemed easier but wasn't chosen. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to know every step. You just have to take the next one, then the next, then the next. That's how confidence grows. That's how strength grows. That's how success grows. One step at a time. The truth is that you are capable of far more than you've demonstrated. Far more. The problem isn't your potential. The problem is that you've been listening to the voice that tells you to stay comfortable, the voice that tells you to wait, the voice that tells you it's too hard, the voice that tells you you'll start tomorrow. Stop listening, because that voice has never improved your life. That voice has never made you stronger. That voice has never brought you closer to your dreams. The voice that changes your life sounds different. It says, get up. It says, try again. It says, keep going. It says, one more rep, one more page, one more hour, one more step, and eventually those extra steps create an extraordinary life. So from this moment forward, stop identifying with the weak version of yourself. Stop identifying with the procrastinator. Stop identifying with the quitter. Stop identifying with the person who always waits. That is not who you are. That is who you've been practicing. And you can practice something different. You can practice discipline. You can practice courage. You can practice consistency. You can practice self-respect. You can practice becoming the person you want to be, because every identity starts as repetition. Repeat strength long enough and you become strong. Repeat discipline long enough and you become disciplined. Repeat confidence long enough and you become confident. The transformation you're looking for isn't hiding somewhere in the future. It's hiding in your next decision. The decision you make after this video ends the decision to keep making excuses, or the decision to finally become serious about your life. One path leads to regret, the other leads to growth. One path keeps you where you are, the other creates the person you're capable of becoming. Choose carefully, because your future is listening. And the person you become tomorrow is being created by what you choose today.